hangout with I'm here today to talk to you about another portion of this program that we have to offer to help the obese, the morbidly obese, even the overweight person deal with this weight loss issue that seems to be a non-ending battle with most people. And we have come to the conclusion, Rosemary Showman and myself, after spending many years analyzing the situation. I have had gastric bypass myself. She is in the medical profession and has been for quite some time. She's an RN, but has worked with bariatric surgeons. And we have come to the conclusion that there are several elements that need to be changed in your mind in order for you to succeed long term with any weight loss project that you might be attempting to do. Let it be on your own or with a group or with surgery or whatever the reason is, there are several things that you need to do in order to maintain the success that you do obtain. Okay, so if you've been listening to the Hangouts that we've been taping here just to get you adjusted to what we're going to start offering live, you'll notice that we've gone through several different issues that are part of what we believe is the recipe for long-term success and why reclaiming ownership of yourself is a very, very important topic. We also went over why hypnosis is an important part of this, is and exactly what hypnosis is. So if you haven't seen those, check back on YouTube, you'll find them. The next thing that we're going to touch on today, which is an extremely important part of this success plan, and that is forgiveness. And no, this is not a religious thing, and it's not about going to confession, or it's not about any of those silly things. It's about you and how you feel about yourself and how you feel about others and the damage that has created, those feelings have created. So there's really two aspects to forgiveness. The first one is going to be to forgive yourself. Now, you're probably wondering for what? Well, if you're anything like me and you've been battling this weight issue all your life, it is a major issue in your life. Now, I don't know about you, but every time an occasion came up or something, I used to look at myself in disgust to say, why can't I just get this right? What is wrong with me? I would get up in the mornings, and particularly Monday morning, and we all know the Monday morning, let's start and do it for good. And I would have this commitment when I would get up that this is going to be the first day of the rest of my life. This is going to be the day when I'm going to take this project in hand and I am going to make it work for me. No more messing around. This is it. That evening, I would go to bed and I would lie there and say to myself, what the hell is wrong with me? Why can't I just get through one day? And I'm sure if you really looked into your heart and soul, you would admit that you've had many, many of these conversations with yourself. And there is nobody that you feel about the way you feel about yourself. Obviously, you're more connected to yourself than you are to anyone else. With the obesity issue, sometimes we do lose that connection, and that's what we want to give back to you. But when it comes to trying to be the best that you can be and all those failures that you faced, as I have faced, listen, we know where we're coming from and we know where we want to go. Problem is getting there is the issue. So, what you're going to do with this program that we've developed, and one of the major aspects of it, is how to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for all those mistakes. Forgive yourself for all those promises you made that you seemingly couldn't commit to. Those things are fine, and we're going to get past them. Now, another element of forgiveness, once you've forgiven yourself, the most important person in this whole equation, is to forgive other people. The other people that have hurt you throughout your life, let it be with just verbal abuse, emotional abuse, people who you don't even know who have looked at you strangely in public and made you feel unworthy and somehow minimized. The teachers maybe that didn't make you feel quite as important as that beautiful person in the classroom, and as a result you felt daily more and more unconfident or less significant. How about if something has really happened to you, some really major issue in your life, like abuse, sexual abuse, or you've had some sort of an issue that has stuck in your mind and has not let you free. Well, forgiveness is the only way to free yourself of any of these issues. Now, I'm not talking about meeting up with your abuser face to face and saying, "Hey, buddy, come on, let's forget the past. Let's get on with it." No, that's not what we're talking about, and I wouldn't expect you to do that. What I'm talking about here is if you can see it in your heart and soul to forgive those people who have taken upon themselves to invade your past, your life, your freedom, if you can take it upon yourself to forgive these people, you know what? You're going to take it upon yourself then to allow yourself to head into the future unrestricted by the connection, the emotional connection that you have with these people. But you have to actually take the time to do this forgiveness. And without it, you're not going into the future unhindered. You are going to bring all those people with you. And as a result, they are going to contaminate your future just the same way as they've contaminated your past. And this program that we have devised, that we've developed over many years, called bariatric surgery for the mind. And the reason we named it this is because there is bariatric surgery for the anatomy, but nobody's bothered to take on the mindset of this bariatric issue the way it needs to be taken on. Sitting in somebody's office once or twice over a space of, say, 3 months or that is not going to get the job done. And if that's talk therapy, what you're doing when you talk about your issues, and in particular your past issues and these issues that have held you back over the years, what happens when you talk about them is you give them more credence, you give them more life, more energy. And as a result, they're taking up a larger part of your mind. So that's not what we want to do. We want to banish these issues. We want to put them so far in the background that they're no longer going to have a grip on your future. And you know what? This pertains to everything in your life, the fears, the anxieties, the inadequacies that you feel. These are all created by the same issue, the past and the damage that's been done to you in that past. So if you're really inclined to move on into the future unhindered and allow your future to be what you want it to be, well, then you're going to participate in this forgiveness element that our program takes into account. Now, if you want to find out more about it right now, you can go to www.bariatricsurgeryforthemind.net. And it's in that program that we handle all of these issues that's going to get you from the past into the future. And while we're on that topic, I would just like to hit on something that really has not been defined properly in probably your mind. I know in my mind it wasn't. The past and the future. What is the past? Okay, within the media, I notice over this last couple of years, there has been a lot of emphasis on the abuses that people have had to experience in their past, and particularly why this gives them some sort of a right to proceed with damage to themselves, such as alcohol abuse or drug abuse or food abuse, obesity. And you know what? That's no longer going to be acceptable in your case now that you realize you've got the key that can free you from that hang up. We're not going to use anything as an excuse, anything from the past as an excuse to hinder us from driving into the future the way that we want to see it, the way that we want the future to be. And the only one who's in that driver's seat, by the way, is you. So if you choose to allow all those roadblocks to stop you from getting there, well, then you're never going to make it. It's going to be a very slow, bumpy ride as you drive over all of those elements of the past that you've been using to hold you back. Excuse me. Now, the other thing that I want you to understand is what is the past? Well, I want you to imagine the past as being something that's back there, okay? It is a like a film, a movie, a long, long movie, because it started when you were conceived, if not before, and it continues to run and acquire every second of your life. So it's a long movie. Depending on how old you are, it's longer. So what happens with us, though, is that there are parts of that movie that are very doldrum and very boring, and we don't usually pay a whole lot of attention to those parts. The parts that we do like to pick on and rerun over and over and over again, like reruns of I Love Lucy on an old TV show or on a television, are the parts that are a little more dramatic, the parts that hold within them those elements that created damage to your personality. So as a result, we keep replaying and replaying and replaying those abuses. Let them be very dramatic or let them be just a kind of a mundane issue that's created a big deal in your mind. It doesn't matter what they are, it's the effect that they've had on you. Now, I also want you to know that because you choose to rerun these over and over and over again and maybe feel sorry for yourself as a result or use it as an excuse as to why you are the way you are, it's still in the past. You can rerun that element or that issue or that scene as many times as you like, over and over and over again every day, but that does not bring it into the future. It does not bring it into the present. What it does is rerun an old issue from your past that's actually back there. It brings it what seems like current, but it's not current. It's still back there. But you're thriving on it. You're either thriving on the negativity that it fed you initially, and you keep rerunning that negativity and giving you an excuse to make your life as unpleasant as it is. And that probably incorporates addictions of some kind. It's somehow damaging you and your future and your present, and you're allowing it to by rerunning it over and over and over again. And as I say, the only way to stop that cycle is forgiveness. So that's the past. So now let's check, what is the future? Most people have a look at the future and they think of it as graduation or their 21st birthday, which gives them permission to do something different, or retirement, or a wedding, or a vacation, or a bathing suit they want to get into. Something way down the road, something that is not current. But I am here to tell you that your future is starting this second. This second. And this second is going to lead into the next minute. And that minute is going to expand into an hour. And that hour then is going to make up a day. And that day, a week. And that week, a month. And that month, a year. But it all starts right here, right now. Watch me. Watch. My future started with that breath. That breath, not something down the road. It's not as complicated as that. It is right here and right now. You have no guarantees you're going to make it to that retirement. You have no guarantees you're going to make it to that wedding or to that birthday. But you do know that you've just taken that breath, and that breath is your future. You did not take that breath 10 minutes ago, or 5 minutes ago, or 3 minutes ago. You took that breath with me right there, right then. And we've all taken several of them since. So stop wasting time thinking about something you might never reach. Start working on your future right here and right now with that very next breath. And that very next breath is going to turn into the very next minute. And you are in control of that next breath. You can decide that that next breath is going to be positive or negative. You can decide whether that next breath is going to incorporate forgiveness of the past or whether you're going to thrive on those reruns. You can decide whether that next breath is going to be something that you want as a benefit to your future, not as something that's going to hinder you from your future. So, with all of that in mind, now that you understand how important forgiveness of yourself is, how important forgiveness of others is, how important it is to take the future in hand right here and right now, and how the past is something that you can choose to leave behind or you can use as an excuse to live in and condone all of your negative actions. But all of this is incorporated in this incredible program that incorporates changing your mind so you can change your life. And if you want more information, please go to www.bariatric, that is BARIATRIC, bariatric surgery for the mind, that's FOR, for the mind.net, and find out how you can start changing your future. 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time. All right? And please make sure to stop by here with these hangouts. We're going to start putting them on live. This is an introduction to you as to what you can look forward to. So this is Elizabeth Marion Kilkenny signing off and thanking you so much for listening once again. And hopefully you'll start understanding why You are in control of your future. You are in control of your weight. You just need to get the keys to drive you in the right direction. Okay? So hang in there and hang out with us at hangoutwithweightloss.com. We're on YouTube, so check us out. We've got several of these little snippets to direct you as to where you want to be and how you're going to get there. Okay? So you take care until next time and have a very wonderful day. All right? Bye.